today is January 25th. It is Thursday, and we've got some new Guild Wars 2 news. Guild Wars 2 tweeted today, when legendary relics become available, players who have already crafted at least one legendary rune will be granted a legendary relic for free. Learn more about the upcoming edition of Legendary Relics here. So, quick pause, because I want to make sure that everybody, even people that just started this game, are included in this conversation. Now, in the game, inside Guild Wars 2, really quick, there are these things that you can slap on your gear called runes. These are the runes right here. And you see they've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6-piece bonuses. So if you have the same rune on all your armor, you get all 6 of those bonuses. So it is worth using a 6-piece bonus rather than like 2, 3-piece bonuses almost all the time. However, it used to be the 6-piece bonuses gave something crazy. Like, not just a raw stat, it gave like unique abilities, like you fire lasers out of your butt or something like that. Rune of Chipotle, by the way, if you're interested. Now, they changed it in the latest expansion, Secrets of the Obscure. They took the 6-piece bonus that had like the bum lasers and stuff like that, and they put it over here on this thing called relics. And there's a million different relics, and then they changed the 6-piece bonus to have raw stats. So it's been another example of power creep in the game. So the 6-piece bonuses just have stats. Like currently my 6-piece bonus is plus 125 healing. And over here we've got a relic. Now relics, you see, I've got a bunch of them right here. They're taking up a lot of backspace. Now, if before Secrets of the Obscure, you had legendary runes, you could click on them and change the rune to any rune in the game anytime you wished. Just like how with legendary armor, you could change the stats on it anytime you wish as long as you're out of combat. So effectively, having legendary runes, 6 of them, made it so you had every set of runes in the game and they didn't clog up your bag space. So that was kind of the reward when you finally got full legendary runes, is you got to get rid of all the different sets of runes you were carrying around in your bags. Then they took the thing off of runes and made relics, and now relics are clogging up my bag. Look at this. It's like I'm a peasant here. Why am I having to carry all this stuff again? So because this happened and legendary relics do not exist, we're all having to carry around all the different relics that we use or think we might need to use someday. And then, having to make the legendary relics, it was kind of left a bad taste in people's mouth, because it's like, I worked for months to get legendary runes, and now I gotta make a legendary relic to get back the same feature I already had before and reacquire the bum lasers, or whatever it is that you were using. And they said a while back something along the lines of, well, you'll get a discount on how much it costs to make the legendary relic once it is added to the game, based on how many legendary runes you've made, to try to reward the people that already had this. And it still made people go, but they're changing that. So this is basically different in a good way from what they originally told us. Let's go back to today's news. So there's a link from their tweet that goes to this page. I'll link it down below if you want it. All right, legendary relics are coming soon. Our next major release for Guild Wars 2 Soto isn't far away, and when it arrives, you'll be able to craft a legendary relic. Relics are a new category of equipment that were added with the expansion's launch in August of 2023. You can read more about it on our wiki if you're not familiar. Upon acquisition, Legi relics can be equipped by all characters on an account simultaneously. Again, for the new folks, there's this thing called the Legendary Armory. If you look like this over here, if I click where my weapon is, right here, this is the Legendary Armory. These are legendaries on my account. I can just pull one of these out of thin air and equip it. Down here is stuff in my actual bags. So if you get a legendary relic, every single character on your account can click here and just equip it with this menu. It will not take any bag space once you've got it in your armory, which is awesome. The Legi Armory is a great system. All right. Upon acquisition, Legi relics can be equipped by all characters on an account simultaneously, allowing players to freely swap between relic effects. We've got 2 additional pieces of info that we'd like to share with you before Legi relics become available. And we have what appears to be it's an angry woman with a hammer beating a spider. Compensation for legendary rune owners. Compensation. First, when we announced relics, we mentioned that when we were ready to add the Legi relic to the game, we'd compensate players who already had Legi runes. And again, the reason for that is relics were basically something that was on runes, and then they tore it in half and separated them. This is because non-attribute bonus effects were removed from runes when relics were introduced. At the time, we were still evaluating what the appropriate compensation would be in terms of Legi relic progress. Now we're happy to announce that when Legi relics become available, any player who has already crafted at least one Legi rune will be granted a legendary relic for free. In other words, you'll get 100% of Legi relic progress as a bonus for having already crafted a rune. We had previously communicated that crafting all 7 runes would yield additional progress. Quick pause, the reason they say 7 is the rebreather. So there's 6 pieces of armor and then your rebreather. You can put one in your rebreather. By the way, a nice time for a random tip I've said many times over the years. Did you know that when you go underwater, your hot slot is effectively removed and replaced with the rebreather? So if you do not have the same rune on your rebreather, you lose your 6-piece bonus when you go underwater. Make sure that whatever rune you're using, if there's any underwater combat in the area you're using it in, you have the same rune here, because this replaces your head. All right, back to what we were reading. As we evaluated options for compensation, it became clear that the best choice was to fully compensate anyone who had made any Legi runes prior to the relic becoming available with a compensated Legi relic. When the release that contains Legi relics goes live, the eligibility period will end. The only way to obtain a Legi relic will be through the normal crafting journey. We'll announce the timing of the next update soon, as it's coming up pretty quickly. And then we've got a picture of a guy with a little eyeball. This is one of the relics where you summon the eye and it shoots the lasers and stuff. Legi relics in future expansions. Legi relics will work a bit differently than other legendary equipment, in that players will need to unlock new relic effects for future expansions in order to make use of them with their Legi relic. All other legendary equipment components like runes, armor, and weapons are automatically updated with new attribute combination choices as those combinations become available. Quick example, in the time that I've been playing the game, since I unlocked Legi armor, later they added the stat combinations of Ritualist and I believe Dragon was added to the game. And these stat combinations were just instantly showed up on my Legi armor. I didn't have to do anything. People that wanted those stat combinations that didn't have Legi armor had to go through a lot more hoops than I did because, well, I mean, I had to go through a lot of hoops to get Legi armor, but you know what I mean. Like on launch day, I instantly had it and they had to do a lot of hunting for the recipes and stuff like that. So they're saying that once you have a Legi relic, you'll still need to go unlock these relics, then their effects will be available at any time. And honestly, I'm completely okay with that. Because like, if I can just like go and acquire it and unlock it, and then sell or destroy the thing to get it out of my bag, and it's available on the menu after that, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. Okay, so... all other Legi equipment components like runes, armor, and weapons are automatically updated with new attribute combination choices as those combinations become available. When we made an update in 2019 to reduce confusion in the way attribute selectable gear worked, we decided to allow existing Legi equipment to retain access to all attribute combination selections regardless of expansion ownership to honor existing functionality. We will continue to do this for previously existing types of Legi equipment, sorry. However, from a rewards economy and experience design standpoint, we think it makes sense to ask players to actually engage with new content in order to make use of its new combat offerings. So for relics only, and starting with the 5th expansion, new relic effects will be needed to unlock within each expansion in order to be accessible via legendary relics. Legi relics will come with all Guild Wars 2 Soto relic effects unlocked. Will still be freely swappable between existing relic effects, and will still be able to be equipped simultaneously on multiple characters, so normal legendary armory behavior. They'll also have automatic access to the new relic effects we're planning to release alongside our 3rd major release for Guild Wars 2 Soto. We'll have more information about future expansions unlocked sometimes later this year, after we've officially announced Expansion 5. Thanks for reading. We'll be back in a few weeks with more information about our next major release for Guild Wars 2 Soto. And that's it. That's it. So, yeah, better than what we originally thought. For the people that had legendary runes before, we thought that it's like, okay, we had this feature. We spent months trying to unlock this feature. Then they took the feature away. Was a little bitter about that, but okay. And then they said in the future, you'll get it back, but it'll be on discount. And it's like, well, that's... seems kind of weird, but okay. I mean, not much I can do about it. I mean, that wasn't the energy I was going for, but I can't not move my shoulders to that. And now they announced this. So what does that mean? What does that mean? Now, first of all, if anyone is watching this and they've never made a legendary rune, making like 3 to 6 legendary runes is the same price as making like 1 legendary armor. Okay? Making 1 legendary rune is not nearly as expensive as like a legendary sword or something like that, okay? It's way less expensive. Like the amount of mystic coins and mystic clovers and like teeth and fangs and all that stuff it takes is far less than a piece of armor or a weapon. So what does that mean? That means that the components used to make a single legendary rune are probably about to skyrocket in price. So if you get, that means like the charms and the fangs and the bones and the blood and a few coins, stuff like that. It doesn't take much to make one, but it does take stuff. And about to, yeah, they already have. Hey, look, I'm just saying it.
Pictures of Spider-Man.
Shut up. I'm just saying it for the YouTube crowd, okay? So the prices of these things are going up right now. So if you already have those, you are in great shape. Heck, if you have spare, you could sell them and make a killing, or I would imagine, for a couple months, or until this happens. However, this is a serious case of BOGO. This is a serious buy one, get one free. I would imagine when the legendary relic becomes available, making the
Slam, and
full
welcome to Japan,
legendary
kids.
relic. Oh my gosh, shut up.
It's time for tentacles.
Making the full legendary relic is going to take just as many mats as making a legendary backpack or accessory or ring or necklace, which is to say a lot. So honestly, if you can get, this is based off some assumptions here, but if you are spending the money to make one legendary rune and you're getting a relic with it, that's probably like 7 times value. Okay? Because a relic is like a fraction of the cost of like a backpack. And so if you, a rune is like a fraction of the cost of a backpack. So if you can make one rune and you get the Legi relic with it, I think that's gonna be like 7x value. So if you're max level, you got a little bit of coin, you've been max level for a little bit, strongly suggest making one legendary rune at least as soon as possible. If you need it, hold on here. I am going to open up. I don't know if any of you have heard, but I do have a lovely website called mucklucklabs.com. And on it, there is a section for legendary crafting. And if you need it, I got a guide for how to make legendary runes and sigils right there. All right, I'll link that down below too if anyone in the future needs it. But yeah, definitely, if it's within your power, make one ASAP. Between now and the release of the relic, the prices of the ingredients are just going to keep going up. And but still, it's going to be cheaper than doing it later and making, because you're getting the full price of the relic. And I'm betting the relic is going to take like 250 mystic coins, but either 50 or 77 mystic clovers, gift of might, gift of magic, gift of your mom. Like, it's going to just take so much stuff, just like all the other pieces do, and you're getting all that for free. So definitely would say get on that as soon as possible. Yeah, that's it. That's what we know about this from the official sources. I don't know of anything else outside of this, but that's what we know. That's my recommendation. And if you know anything that I missed, put it in the comments down below and help the other people out. And I'll see you when we got more news.